Recent car trends have either been sexy as hell or frustratingly disgusting. Some of these either make me say, damn, or, oh, damn. So let's take a look at some of the car trends that the car industry seems to be obsessed with at the moment. Starting the video out strong with some grade A filth, fake exhaust tips. Boy, do I hate this one. I really hate it. I've always felt that the exhaust tips on a car are the little piece that really wraps up the gift. The finishing touches, if you will, the bow on top. That certain thing that just makes everything come together real nice. However, over the past few years, I've noticed that these things sort of stopped existing. Where a cool, shiny tip used to be is now a plastic wall or weird downward-facing pipe that looks like it's from some scrapyard. Hell, sometimes they aren't even there at all. This one really upsets me, so let's move on. After the vomit-inducing last entry, this one I actually really like. Out of all the premium design concepts, this one really does look luxurious, especially on Porsche and Lexus. I feel like if cars from Blade Runner were real, they would have these. Plus it looks really good on legitimately any design. Well, maybe not any design. Honda attempted to make the new Accord have something in a similar vein as the taillight bar, but it just looks cheap and really blocky. Extremely rare Honda fail, not red-pilled at all. All in all, the light bar is an A+, and an easy way to get me to buy your car. Oh boy, do I have some opinions on this one. Whose idea was this? Who thought, you know what? Why don't we make being comfortable in your car hard? Truly baffling to me. Should we really need to navigate menus to get to where you can turn off the AC with your sweaty feet because you live in the armpit of Texas? I don't think so, but hey, what do I know? I notice even my car has this, and multiple people have actually asked me how do they change the climate control. It sort of blew my mind that I said, I don't really know. Weird world we live in. This gets a fat F for me in the rankings. Moving on. I'm starting to sound like an old man yelling at clouds here, but damn, there are a lot of really rough car trends these days. There's nothing that turns me off from a car more than the entire front dash being covered in screens. It simply isn't for me. I understand that a lot of people love the screens and think it's super handy and cool, but man, call me a broken record because it was better in the old days. Hell, I'll say it. I don't really even care for Apple CarPlay all that much. Yeah, I said it. On my old '09 IS250, I never felt the need to install a screen, because it just wouldn't feel right for me. Everything in modern cars is so automated and smooth, I just don't like it. The speedometer no longer has any analog arm climbing up the numbers and speeding up the RPM. Used to be so satisfying to see. Now it's just a screen. And they usually are a split second off from what is actually happening, and it is very noticeable. Not a fan of the screens, but I can understand how some people do love them. I originally wasn't going to do this section of the video, but I remembered my friend Ahad in his 2024 Nissan Sentra. It was a nice new car, which seems like it was an enjoyable car to drive, and at first glance, the interior was very nice. Coffee-colored leather seats filled the entire interior, and I really did look like a luxury car, but it wasn't. In fact, he even said the same thing about the old Sentra. However, it isn't only Nissan that does this kind of thing. It's all over the car industry. Hell, the insides of some of these Volkswagens and Hyundais look fancier than Mercedes by a mile, but deep down, you know it isn't. It's kind of like someone who puts on a ton of makeup. You know it's just a ruse. I mean, look at this. As someone who personally loves luxury cars, and not to say that in a douchey way, it really feels weird to have a Hyundai's interior turn my head in the way an Audi would. But this isn't really a big deal to me though. Everyone likes to feel like they're driving a luxury car, so I guess it's not that bad. But still very interesting to see this. I am very conflicted. I drive a white car. I like my white car, but it seems like every other car is a mix of either black, gray, or white, or some weird mix between the three. I don't know if it's because when I was a kid I just noticed bright colors on cars more, or because I really did used to see a wider variation in color. It seems that manufacturers are really sold on this idea of the drab, bland colors they put out these days. I notice this more with German cars in the USA, as Honda and Mazda still put out beautiful blues and reds regularly. But I will say, now that I think about it, American brands like Ford and Chevrolet are doing this trend as well, but I really feel like this is more of a sign of the times than some large corporate push for tossing out bright colors. It's not that deep. Some people just want to blend in and really don't care about what color their car is. I personally do, but not everyone does, so oh well. As the last trend I will talk about today, I chose a more broad concept, so let's dive into it, shall we? In the past few years, many car makers have decided to discontinue their most popular and beloved models, both in the sports car world and everyday vehicles. Dodge has discontinued both the Charger and Challenger, two of the most iconic muscle cars in the world, let alone America. Chevrolet has discontinued the Camaro, which has been around since 1966, leaving only the Corvette as Chevrolet's flagship sports car. Though, nearly all the sports cars I have mentioned are coming back as all-electric or hybrid cars. This in fact doesn't only count to the American car market, but Japan as well. Honda has announced that their JDM classic, the Prelude, is coming back as a hybrid. I even heard that supposedly the Toyota Celica will be coming back as a hybrid as well, but I haven't gone deep into that subject, so I'll have you take that with a grain of salt. While these platforms are all very old, what does it matter? If it makes money and the public loves it, why take it away? Nowadays we're seeing an actual decline in creativity in the car industry. No longer are modern, gas-powered sports cars being produced, at least in America and Germany. Japan is still keeping this alive, but the passion that millions of people have for cars will slowly be snuffed out by government mandates and corporate suits if this keeps going further. It makes me sad in a way that my kids will see a Scat Pack or Camaro SS and consider these to be vintage sports cars. This is a trend that I truly do hate. I think it is really causing a rift amongst both car enthusiasts and the everyday people with the governments around the world, who pressure the car makers to stop making the cars we all love so much. Damn, sorry to end on a pretty depressing note, but hey, that's how we like to do things around here. There are many different car trends I could have chosen, but these are just the ones that I'm most passionate about. All in all, car trends these days sorta suck, but there are some which work really well for me. I swear I wouldn't know how to live without blind spot cameras. Thanks for watching.